So on DC Music Rocks, we're shining a spotlight on the great songs, artists, and incredible people behind the DC region's local music scene. The Edjacated Phools are a six-piece fusion band based in Baltimore, Maryland, with members in DC and in Baltimore. They combine an energetic blend of rock, reggae, hip-hop, ska, and punk influences into a unique sound. The band signed with Raised Fist Records in August of 2017 and released their debut album, you just heard that track from, called Check the Vibes, back on September 1st of 2017. And I've been a fan of these guys since, gosh, close to when I started the show. I've been following these guys since before they were with the record company, and before, like, way back in the beginning, I've been following you guys, and I've been such a fan of the work that you're doing and the incredible songs that you guys are putting out. So the bottom line for me personally is, let me just fanboy for a moment and just say it is so freaking awesome to have you guys here, man. Thanks for coming and doing this.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brad. It's
Much
really good to be
love,
here,
much
man.
love.
Thank you so much.
This is now describe for those folks who aren't familiar with Edjacated Phools. What is it that makes you guys special, would you say, if they see you guys?
I would say the one thing that sticks out is our energy on stage. I think we try to keep it very, very upbeat. And so our kind of in-your-face dynamic, our energy on the stage and just getting in people's face, getting people to kind of dance and move around a lot. And our songs are really, a lot of them are up-tempo. A lot of them are really dynamic and very high energy. So we try to convey that on stage, and I think people feel that for sure when they come to our shows. So,
Wow. And so if they come to a show, what will they likely see? What's an Edjacated Phools show like?
It's definitely going to be smoky in the room.
Because you're like those fog machines?
yeah, we love smoke
I think
machines.
we
Big
are the
fog machine
machines.
supporters.
Yeah, fog machine supporters over here.
Got it.
No, if you're going to come to Educated Phools show, what you're going to get is a whole mix of good people, great music, better vibes. I think that at all of our shows, you can always find a really diverse, flow and environment of people. You can always find everybody who's getting there, jamming out, drinking, having a good time, and just enjoying the music with us.
Yeah, bottom line is you're going to have fun if you come to one of our shows. I've never had someone tell me they didn't enjoy one of our shows, and that's kind of like what we pride ourselves on, whether we're playing a 3-hour bar gig or a 30-minute set, opening up for a touring band. We just bring the heat, like that's what we like to say to each other. Let's bring the heater.
The heater.
And when we go on stage, we like to bring that heat with us, you know what I'm saying?
That's awesome. Where does the name come from? Edjacated Phools, because it's spelled funny too. It's
Yeah.
E-D-J.
So originally there's a couple songs called Edjacated Phools by Revolution, Damian Marley, and those were both like kind of big influences to us, at least me. And we were doing the whole reggae scene thing. So the EDJA, the original spelling was JAH, Edjacated Phools.
Okay.
But we dropped the ja, and we just stuck with Educated Phools because we thought it was more us.
And we should note Fools is spelled P-H-O-O-L-S. Edjacated Phools.
Always play with their minds.
EDJACATED, Edjacated.
Edjacated Phools. That's it. Which
We
goes
educated.
right along with the reggae vibe that you guys like in that song we just heard and some more. I really like that one. Now, talk about so there's some DC and then some Baltimore connection. So talk about the DC connection that you guys have. You talked about University of Maryland earlier.
Yep.
You played football at University of Maryland.
Yes, sir.
That's Nick. There's another connection. What?
So, my name's Kyle, and I own a head shop in DC, like a borosilicate glass studio. Basically, we're a gallery. We represent a collaborative of artists. We represent over 70 artists, and we sell smoking devices and high-end one-of-one art pieces.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Wow. All right. So definitely connected to the head and smoking art scene here in
Exactly,
DC.
man. If you don't put premium gas into a hoopty, if you know what I mean, So you got to put that stuff into something nice.
God, I hope not. I got
Only
put it
that
into
fire in
something
DC.
nice.
Exactly.
Oh, that's it. Hold it up. One love. I love it. All right. Now, and what about? So now you guys. Well, first of all, introduce yourselves because we've had you talking for a little bit. So introduce yourselves and then the other members of the band. Talk about that real quick.
Well, my name's Kyle. I'm Logan's older brother. Me and Logan kind of started this whole music journey together a couple years ago, and we've kind of met everybody else along the way and formed this amazing group. To my right, I have Nick. He's my co-vocalist. He's the sexy one. I'm the main one.
So sexy.
So
So sexy, Nick.
The sexy one and
Sexy.
the
yes.
mean one.
Well, I wouldn't
Yeah.
say mean, but I definitely have a mean beard. I've been working on this.
Yes,
for a
you
while,
do.
so.
You should appreciate pictures of this man's
Yes.
beard. If you check out the episode details,
Flawless.
I've got one there. It's pretty serious.
But
I love
yeah,
it.
we got Logan, who's my little brother. He's been bothering me my whole life playing guitar.
Yep.
So finally one day he was like, "Hey man, why don't you just play with me?" And I was like, "Cool." And
Nice.
yeah,
And then who else? There's 3 more members.
yeah, we have Devin, who's Nick's cousin actually, and he's a monster drummer, super talented. We have Tyler Garrison, who's a bassist. He was actually in the classical orchestra band at Towson University. Yeah, we call him
Nice.
Fingers. When we
Okay.
met this kid, he had the most calloused hands.
His fingers were
Like,
gross.
really?
They were disgusting.
Come on,
So-
let him know. It was
Yeah,
bad,
like
guys.
it was bad.
He's
And
playing a lot of bass.
So
Okay. I
He's
was gonna
slapping
say
the
it's
bass, man.
like
Yeah.
he just has peeled calluses all over his hands. Like,
Wow.
and I was like, man,
Okay.
your fingers are special. And then we got Ben, who's like Logan's childhood best friend, who
Chesky.
we didn't originally want Ben in the band. We were like, I don't know if Ben could be in the band. And then Ben
Yeah.
just like put in work and learned how to play the keyboard, taught himself, and he's been a huge asset for us.
He's like a utility member. He started off on melodica. He's
Yep.
really just well versed in music in general. So he's
Super
really good at
talented.
playing stuff.
Got a great ear, honestly.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. That's awesome, guys. Now, talk about you guys. So on the personal side, outside of music now, you guys, are there hobbies? What do you do in your free time besides this?
I work and I play music.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Say more. You work
Yeah.
what? You play
Yeah.
play music just with Educated Fools? Is there
Yeah,
other bands
well,
too?
we do the whole band thing, and then on nights when the whole band can't get together, Nick and me, we play a lot around Baltimore, and we do a lot of acoustic sets together where we'll go
The
play.
dynamic duo.
Yeah, the dynamic duo. You know?
Yeah, we try to stay involved with music any way we can. We play local bar gigs, do cover shows. I mean, I'm really big into like fitness and stuff, so I try to stay pretty active. I still skateboard, snowboard, you know, we even wakeboard on occasion.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Surf is whenever we can. We like traveling, so we all are really family oriented too. So we have really big families. Spend as much time with families as possible,
Really?
and you know, just try to have a well-rounded lifestyle where you know we are balanced and always involved in something cool.
Yeah, I just became a dad in August, so I have a
Well,
I have a
congratulations.
6-month-old daughter.
Holy smokes.
Carter
name's-
Jean.
Her name's Carter. Yeah, she's beautiful. Shout out to my wife for doing that.
To both of you. You had to put it together. She
did
more
the
of the
hard
work,
part.
Clearly.
She did the hard part for sure.
Clearly, but wow, man! Congratulations! That and the family vibe sticks with you guys too, because you just said that
Yep.
you're all parts of different.
Yep.
Your family members here in the band too. which
Yeah.
is-
I
it's
mean,
like a big
really,
family,
like I
for
look
sure.
at every one of these guys like my brothers. So,
For sure.
and if any of them ever needed anything, I'd do it at the drop of a hat. You know.
Absolutely. Golly. All right, so now talk about funniest moment as a band that comes to mind.
Oh my
I don't know if I
god.
can tell this story.
Are we all thinking what I'm thinking?
I'm thinking the
Fingers?
Expendables show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You want to take this? You want me to take this?
All right, I'll try to say it as nicely as possible. So basically, we had our first show at Soundstage. We played with Pacifier and the Expendables. We opened the show up for them
And tunnel vision.
and Tunnel Vision. But long story short, we all wanted to get pretty, intoxicated that night. So we decided to be responsible adults and get an Airbnb.
We beat it.
And us being the fools, we thought, why not just get the nicest Airbnb we can find in Baltimore for the night? So we end up booking this mansion in Fed Hill that's like 6 stories. It has like libraries in it.
Oh
and
my god.
It was so
awesome.
Multiple libraries.
The shower could hold 25 people.
It was like a Project
Holy
X
smokes.
style.
It was
house.
amazing.
You could read in every room.
But yeah, so like Logan basically lied to the guy on Airbnb. He's like, yeah, I'm in town doing a video shoot, and I think the guy thought that Logan was doing porn at his place.
Oh yeah.
So the guy decides to
He stuck around.
drop back in
You know,
a little bit later that night.
oh
And
good.
he comes home, and there's like 55, 60 people
In the
just
mansion.
absolutely partying in this mansion. Like,
Oh
it's
my
getting
God.
wild.
no reservations, you know what I mean? Like, pretty much anything goes. And the guy walks in, and I'm just sitting at the table, and I'm like, who's this old guy? And
oh god.
he's like, where is Logan?
I'm
And
literally
Logan's-
in the corner talking to Fernando like, dude, we're screwed. We're so screwed, bro. And he's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work out in our favor. And literally, right as I said that, the guy tapped me on my shoulder, and I turn around, and it's the guy running the house for me. He goes, "It's a lot more than 8 people." I was pretty much caught red-handed, stuck in my dirt. But you know what? He was really chill about it. He thanked me for having all the people in the house take their shoes off. But the funniest part about this whole story is right at the heat of the moment when I'm like freaking out and thinking this guy's gonna, be so upset. He's coming down on me. I got 65 people raging in his house. Our bass player Tyler walks right up to me and him in the middle of the conversation and says,
he goes, "Yeah, this would be a great house to get weird in," and the guy's standing right there, and he just starts like shaking his head and just like, "You guys need to go."
Wow. So did you end up having to shut it down and leave, or did you just have to shut it down?
We ended up just like talking it out with him, and we explained to him that we had some touring bands crashing at the house, and we just got finished with the show.
Thank you, Lance.
Yeah, he ended up being pretty cool, but there's definitely a designated talker on that night, because he walked into quite a party.
Holy smokes! Now, talk about biggest success moment then for Educated Fools so far. What comes to mind?
Man.
Album release, no doubt. Our album release in July was definitely like my proudest moment as a musician.
Say more. How so?
Just everyone came to support us that night. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a show for anyone else. Like, we had a great supporting cast. We had Never Ending Fall. We had Joint Operation. We had Foggy May. We had a number of super awesome bands. But the great thing about the Baltimore scene is that it's a one big family. Once you play with any of these bands, they're like family to you. They love you like you're their brother or sister, and they definitely look out and show support whenever they can. And I think that's the most beautiful part about being in this scene, is just the love that gets shared between not only fans but musicians amongst each other.
For sure, the support is amazing.
But yeah, we had about 500 people come out to our album release party at Soundstage in Baltimore, and it was definitely one of the most fun nights for me. I thought we played a killer set, and it was an extremely positive experience.
Wow, that sounds amazing, guys.
What about you, Nick?
So we do it's called the Backstage Bash. We do it at High Tops in Timonium. We put that festival on ourselves, so to see kind of a festival that's being put on by us and a bunch of other bands coming out, pretty much the whole neighborhood gets together, and it's just a big festival style event that we put on, and just we're able to expose other groups, touring artists, DC artists, and just people who get on the bill and are into playing a big festival style show that we put on every year, and we've been doing that now 3 years. We have another one coming up in September of this year. And so that's I think that's one of our biggest accomplishments, just setting up a mini festival style event.
Whose idea was that? How did that come around?
So the original idea started with Fernando and me were talking about getting a whole festival together with Nick and Kyle at this winery.
Fernando's our manager.
Yeah, Fern. Shout to Fern.
Fernando
Delgado.
God, we love you. So it started out with just this idea hey, let's try to throw this festival at a winery, and we ended up getting a bunch of good bands to respond and want to play the festival. But when we went to close the deal with the winery, the guy only wanted to sell wine. So eventually we decided, I was talking to Fernando, I was like, hey, well, why don't we just talk to, our buddy Stink? And then we gave him a call up, and we sat down and we had a meeting, and we planned out the whole first event between, the Educated Fools and High Tops team, and it really came together, and I'm so proud of it. I couldn't be more proud of it. This year's going to blow the roof off Baltimore. So
yeah, last year we had People's Blues of Richmond, Litz, Tropidelic, Bumpin' Uglies, Us, Never Ending Fall, Stack Like Pancakes, Oogie Wawa. We had the Vibesmen, Joint Operation, Neff, all those guys. It was a stacked lineup, and it's gonna just
Higher Education.
Higher Ed was the first year. They weren't the second year, but it's just always a stacked lineup, and we always have a good time.
That's awesome, guys. And now, one more question that I have, and this is one of my favorite questions to ask, and it's for all three of you guys individually. It's if you could offer one piece of advice, what would it be?
Work hard. I would just say keep working hard. Don't give up. Music is always an uphill battle, and you never know really where you're at, but as long as you're doing it for the right reasons. I think we all do music because we love to express ourselves and express a message that we can't do in our day-to-day lives that we do as a group of men, and I love it.
Yeah. I would say don't sweat the small stuff. At the end of the day, like, there's things that happen in this life that you can control, and there's things that you can't. And at the end of the day, you just should pay attention to what's important and what really matters, and don't pay attention to little things that will just, bother you, eat you up.
What's an example of that comes to mind when when you say that?
Like, I'll give you an example. Like, me and my brother were fighting a little bit earlier today because we have 2 shows on Saturday. I'm supposed to work. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, what if I can't make both shows? And it's like, what's really important here? Should I come make this show, or should I make the one later? Or what's more important? How do I make it work? You know what I mean? It's just like, what's the point of getting all focused on the details? As long as it works out, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah, like, don't worry about the details. Don't worry about everything. It's gonna all come together like it should in the end.
Yeah, well, got it. What about you?
I would say check your ego at the door. We're all, at the end of the day, we're all creative, but we're also we're very opinionated and
Passionate.
we all have a place we want to come from, and musically, you can't really have an ego and be creatively collaborative at the same time. So as long as you leave that at the door, then you can really be open to, really creating something as a collaborative, and having something that's really organically yours as a group, as opposed to, imposing your creative will when we're in writing sessions or whatever it may be. So.
Yeah. Love it, guys. All right, and for those folks who want to find out more about you guys and follow what you're doing, where's the best place for them to go?
Facebook. We're all over Facebook, and our homepage, edjacatedphools.com. Please check it out. We have a website up. It's got all of our show dates. It's got videos. It's got news. It's got reminders for the band. Our Facebook, our website. We are on Spotify, iTunes, all of the social media sources. So please Google us if you want. Check out our music. We would love to have you guys.
Spell the name for him real quick.
Yes, EDJACATED space PHOOLS.